as a popular prophet on earth. That's why I told you horizontal journey is a risk if there is no backing of the vertical journey. The day the guy began to travel vertically, he discovered everything he was doing horizontally was accursed from the realm of God. He said, I'm a man of unclean lips, woe unto me. But because he has journeyed upward, there was an economy that was activated. It was the economy of the coals of fire. And he said one of the angels took one of the coals from the fire and touched his tongue, and his tongue was healed instantly. When a man begins to travel vertically, he will notice that many addictions will die on their own. Every day young people call you, they say, I'm masturbating, I'm fornicating. Don't waste your time praying for them. You know why? If you pray for them, you have set them up. Because when an evil spirit is gone out of a man, he moves about in dry places. If he doesn't find where to stay, it will return to where it was cast from. If it is kept and garnished but empty, the spirit will not enter. The spirit knows if he enters, the power that cast it out will cast it again. So the spirit will go and invite 7 more wicked demons. That means there are some demons in the buffet that don't have a habitat. If you know how many demons are waiting for accommodation who don't have yet, you will treasure your purity. Because 1/3 of the angels fell, and there are over 100 trillion angels. If you know how many demons can be assigned to one man, you will walk with God closely. In the allocation of the demonic, there are some that don't even have allocation in your life, because your morning is occupied, afternoon is occupied, evening is occupied. So some of the demons go to tell the principalities, please assign us in his dream. Even if we don't possess him, when he's sleeping, let's just enter his dream, at least have accommodation for the night. So in the daytime, the guy is fornicating, he's lying, he's doing all kinds of things. Even when he's sleeping, he's still fornicating. When an evil spirit is gone out of a man, it will return with 7 more wicked demons. So when somebody says masturbating and you cast out the demon and you don't teach the person how to become occupied, the next time he will not only masturbate, he will rape. So when people tell me they are masturbating, I tell them the reason is because where you are operating from, the demons of masturbation also have accommodation there. There's a place where there's no accommodation for the demon of masturbation. So come up hither. You are living where demons live. That's why they have accommodation in your life. Come up hither. And somebody is pastoring a church where there are many fornicators, and he said, we don't need revival, we are born again. Come up hither. The sign that you are journeying vertically is not how you feel when you were praying. Because some people, when they are praying, as they lift their hands, especially when you are fasting, even if the fan is blowing at you, the air will pass through the pores of your skin. And then because you are feeling airy, you think you are in glory. Especially when you are praying with an overall or a jalabia and it's floating, you feel you are partnering with angels. You don't ascend because you feel it. The first sign that you are beginning to ascend is that you are purified from within you. The fires of God begins to burn every chaff and every installation of the devil in your life. You will find yourself a drunk, but all of a sudden you lost appetite for the same drink that you can't sleep without. Then you know that your migration is not only horizontal, you have taken the vertical journey. That's fire. A man has no fire until he sustains the testimony of purity. You know, we reduce fire in church to people shouting, ah, ah. We are joking. That's how some people shouted when they saw Michael Jackson. They are operations of the sensual realm. When you are on fire, you naturally begin to walk in purity. You will not know how it will happen, because that realm is interacting with you. It will dominate you so much that it will activate the law of life that is in the spirit. So when you want to check, these are indicators that you are traveling vertically. You know, I say sometimes when you want to define spiritual things, find out how spirits define them. Don't define things by the dictionary. If you read your dictionary, when you find the word love, it's usually translated either from eros, which is romantic love, or storge, which is companionship, or filio, which is friendship. All of that doesn't pass the test of spirit. When the spirit defines love, the only thing he recognizes is sacrifice. So Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commandment. Love in the spirit is obedience. So you don't love until you can obey God. Don't come and tell God, you know I love you, because the way you heard God's servant share now, you too, you go somewhere to preach, you say, Lord, you know, if you remove my heart, you will see that I love you, because you heard the phrase from another preacher. God doesn't need to remove your heart. He will give you an instruction. When you disobey that instruction, your whole heart has already been censored. So ascendance in the spirit is purity. That's why I said, who shall ascend the mountains of God? Who shall stand upon his holy hills? He said, they that are of a pure heart and of a clean hand, who have not lifted up their heart in vanity. It's because when you go hard, you must interact with the coals of fire. You can never dodge it. Those things are littered in the path of light. When a man journeys in light, he must be purified. That's what we call revival. When you break out from one government and you enter into the influence of another government, this one has nothing to do with church attendance. It has everything to do with standing in the presence of the Father, where times of refreshing comes from. So if there is no testimony of purity in your life, your pursuit of God and everything you are doing in the kingdom is horizontal. And the devil is not threatened by horizontal travelers, because he knows that at one point they must succumb to his bargain. At one point, you know, he said Jesus was tested at all points. So the devil will look for points on the horizontal bargain. Is littered with temptation, but the way of victory is in the vertical journey. The second operation in the realm of light is the intercourse with the sea of glass. He said there's a river that flows from the throne of God. He said the streams thereof, they make glad the cities of God. The operation of the sea of glass is the impregnation with joy. Joy that is a defense against darkness. You know, Abraham was struggling with all kinds of affliction until he began to journey upward. And the point came, he said, Abraham staggered not at the promises of God through unbelief. He said he was strong in faith. How was he strong in faith? He said he considered not his body now dead, yet the deadness of Sarah's womb. If you are in the vertical plane, you will see the facts. What shifts a man from the realm of fact to the realm of truth is a vertical migration. So the deadness of the womb is there, but Abraham can't consider it anymore. He's seeing something in light that blinds him from the physical. So he said because of that, he didn't stagger at the promises of God. He said he was strong in faith. How? Giving thanks. He was impregnated with so much joy that he couldn't notice the mockery of men anymore. They say, how can you change your name from an assumed father to the father of kings when your wife has not given birth to one? He said, glory to God. I am the father of nations. There is a joy that secured his heart so much that nothing happening around him moved him anymore. That's the operation of the sea of glass, that the waters of the throne floods your soul until you cannot notice anything the devil throws at you. You have become like Mount Zion that cannot be moved. It's an operation of the realm of God. Some people, something happened to me the other time, and somebody called me. He said he wants to encourage me. Say, if I wait for your encouragement, I will die. David encouraged himself in the Lord. David knew the economy of the sea of glass. So even when everybody deserted him, he went back somewhere to mingle again with the waters of eternity. So even if you choose not to encourage him, such men can't fall. They have gone deep. The waters that sustain them is not in the surface. It comes from the throne. These are operations of vertical journey. A lot of people don't believe. When you talk, they say every man needs encouragement. That's true if you are a man, and if you are only a man. But the new creation is not just a man, it's a God man. I can't share some things. God said we preach mysteries among them that are mature. There are certain things we will talk in the crowd, it will trigger controversy, so you leave them. After all, when John went to heaven, he wanted to write what the voice of the seven thunders spoke. They said, don't write it.